Our reading for today comes from the Gospel of Luke, chapter 2, verses 6 and 7. While they were there, Mary and Joseph, the time came for the baby to be born, and she gave birth to her firstborn, a son. She wrapped him in cloths and placed him in a manger because there was no guest room available for them. So in a lot of translations, we actually hear that there was no room for them in the inn. But I've recently learned that there were probably no hotels in Bethlehem. Instead, when it says in the inn, it's referring to a specific place in an ancient Palestinian home. And so the classic imagining that we have for the place where Mary gives birth to baby Jesus looks like what we would consider a stable. How many of our nativity scenes are basically set in a place like this? This picture is courtesy of illustratedministry.com. Well, it turns out that they may have actually been in someone's home. I mentioned previously that they went to Joseph's hometown, and so a artist's rendering from Illustrated Ministry of an ancient home might have looked like this. There were 2 floors, and the guest room was this room up here, elevated above the hustle and bustle of everybody on the ground floor. For a busy time, such as Mary and Joseph may have found themselves in the middle of the census, there was no room for them in the house, except way down here on the ground floor. You see, there's a heightened level right here where they may have had a low trough, because this very bottom floor is where they brought the animals in at night. And so the only place they had in order to lay the baby Jesus down was in a food trough, basically on the floor. That isn't so different from what happens to some of us in the holiday seasons. The house is just too full of aunts, uncles, cousins, grandmas that someone unexpected arrives, and the only space we might have for them might be in the old futon in the garage. But I know other people who have specific things that they do to try and prepare themselves for those unexpected guests. A parishioner in my church intentionally keeps one bedroom empty and ready for guests at all times. She feels like that's a great way for her to honor the presence of Christ in her life, is to look for the face of Jesus in strangers who need a place to stay. But not everybody can do that. I know in my house, the best that we can do is both kids' bedrooms have bunk beds. And that's if you want to sleep in a bunk bed. But I have a lot of other friends. And my guess is a lot of the people who are watching this video who make room in the world for unexpected guests by supporting places like Vera Lloyd. And so I just wanted to say, if that's you, however you support Vera Lloyd, whether it's in prayers or by working with some of the activities or in your financial donations, thank you. You are making room for unexpected guests in the world, kids and other people who really need a place to stay, or at least some place to feel safe for a time. And so as you go about your Christmas day and whatever else you are planning in these 12 days of Christmas, my prayer for you is that you keep an eye out for those other people who are unexpected guests and need some place to be. I pray that you find some way to involve yourself in their lives. Amen.